want to focus on the third graphic here, right? Because she says that I'm trying to remain relevant in the changing media landscape after making serious cash bashing like Trump supporters like her. Okay, I never made serious cash. I work at the Young Turks, okay?
Sorry.
Number two, what does she think is happening right now? Like,
Ana Kasparian has caught wind of Laura Loomer attacking her on Twitter as well as other outlets, where Ana Kasparian from the Young Turks is reacting to Laura Loomer's attacks online, where she's having a major meltdown and everything, as you all can see. And the crazy part about it, Laura isn't there, but she reads her tweet and she does get angry. Now, it's interesting enough that Ana Kasparian is actually responding to Laura Loomer and everything. And this is my first time hearing about this myself. But the fact of the matter is we have Ana Kasparian versus Loomer, and it's getting crazy. So we're going to go ahead and watch this clip with Ana Kasparian actually responding to Laura Loomer and everything. If you enjoy what I shared in the video, go ahead, smash the like button, share the video for our across social media. Be sure to click on the subscribe button and click subscribe to the channel, click bell notifications, so that way be notified of future uploads and updates.
To know Jeff before I knew what his politics were. Incredibly kind guy. He helps everyone in this building with anything they might need. And so that woke me up to, wait a minute, not all Trump supporters are like dangerous, evil individuals. And yes, it was stupid that I thought that to begin with. Like, I'm embarrassed admitting that, but it's just how I believed.
So over the weekend, that brief clip from my appearance on the Modern Wisdom podcast started making its rounds on social media, even though my interview on that podcast was from literally weeks ago. And somehow it has upset some people, including, the fine people over there like Laura Loomer. So randomly out of nowhere, she attacked me over what I had to say, which I thought was fascinating. We're gonna get to her comments in just a minute, but here is more context from what I was saying while on the Modern Wisdom podcast. Take a look.
And so I'm like trying to get his bicycle like up the stairs, and all of a sudden this man stops me. His name's Jeff. And he's like, hey, let me help you out with that. And he starts helping me out. He stopped everything he was doing to help me out. And then Jeff and I became very close. One of my neighbors who I really like, he was my favorite person in the entire building. And years go by. One day we're in an HOA meeting, homeowners association, and one of the people living in the building said something about Trump that was negative. I don't remember what it is. And Jeff whispers in my ear, oh, she's gonna start trashing Trump. I'm out of here. And it hit me that he's a Trump supporter. We had never talked about politics before. That woke me up to, wait a minute, not all Trump supporters are like dangerous, evil individuals. And yes, it was stupid that I thought that to begin with. Like, a light bulb went off and something was telling me, you need to scratch beneath the surface a little more, because you don't have a realistic view of what's going on here.
Okay, so that clip offended Laura Loomer, who's a massive Trump supporter, as we all know. And so she takes to X and writes this lengthy post. I'll get into it. So she writes, Anna is a malicious and pathological liar who has spent years with her co-host Cenk Uygur lying about and trying to cancel every outspoken Trump supporter, myself included. She has spread delusional lies about Trump, but now in a low-cut top, you literally can't see what I'm wearing, but okay. Low-cut top and a face full of makeup. She wants to tell some make-believe story about a guy named Jeff, who all of a sudden made her realize that 80 million people are all unique individuals who have their own personalities, and not all of them are Nazis. The point of what I was saying was, I was wrong to lump in all Trump supporters as the same type of person. And I came to this realization, and I'm embarrassed by what I previously thought of Trump supporters as like some monolith. But okay, I think you missed the point. Okay.
Now, granted, I myself am a Trump supporter. Laura Loomer, like I've watched her from time to time, and there's a lot of things I don't usually agree with other Trump supporters on. The only thing I agree with other Trump supporters on usually are, like conservative values as well as Trump. But it's like reacting to like certain things. I mean, that's where we come into the differences and stuff. Now, granted that, Ana Kasparian didn't really like show, a low cut top or anything. I mean, I think that might have been a gimmick right there to get more, views and stuff on that particular post on X. I don't know, but I knew this is how Loomer is, and Ana Kasparian was simply just sharing with the public, what she realized. Like Trump supporters are not all the same, and Ana Kasparian also realized that Trump supporters don't really have, a particular bend or ego to them. They're not really as crazy as she thought they were, because like she realized she was wrong, and she took accountability for that, and that's excellent. And she is like wishfully thinking that seems to me that Laura Loomer pointed this out, and she's a little more unforgiving. Now, the fact of the matter is that Ana Kasparian is having a bit of a meltdown to this reaction, but Laura Loomer at the same time, I mean, I don't know. It's a bit extreme, but I mean that's her. I wouldn't say Laura Loomer is extreme, but I would just say that she's blunt and honest and open and everything. Ana Kasparian, is basically stating that Loomer is basically having like a lot of delusional lies put out there about Ana Kasparian herself. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into this clip once again, and be mindful that not all Trump supporters are the same. Okay, all of us are different in our own ways.
Then she writes, "Come on, nobody is buying this garbage. Ana is trying to remain relevant in the changing media landscape after she has made serious cash bashing and defaming people like me who actually busted my ass to help Trump get elected." Okay, Laura. There's more, okay. She's a full-blown liar, and we need to reject people like this who spent years damaging our biggest fighters only to pretend like they don't think Trump is so bad after all. Anyone falling for this is stupid. You don't get to engage in cancel culture for 9 years, then get a free pass for being a raging lunatic. Okay, I mainly want to focus on the third graphic here, right? Because she says that I'm trying to remain relevant in the changing media landscape after making serious cash bashing like Trump supporters like her. Okay, I never made serious cash. I work at the Young Turks, okay?
Sorry.
Number two, what does she think is happening right now? Like, does she think that I'm trying to be accepted into the MAGA world and
And also, forgive me for stopping here. My microphone was a bit out of tune. So we're gonna start right here, and here we go.
Happening right now? Like, does she think that I'm trying to be accepted into the MAGA world and I'm trying to find a position or get named for a position in Trump's administration? I'm still, policy-wise, overwhelmingly left-wing. The only thing that's changed is that, well, first of all, we've always been critical of the Democratic Party. It's just that people are finally noticing that. But more importantly, yes, I changed my mind on like a handful of policies, including policies pertaining to crime, some extent on immigration policy, a few things that I've talked open and honestly about on this show. But economically speaking, I'm very much left wing and have been critical of the Democratic Party for their economic policies being too pro-corporate. And who am I making money off of? I'm here at the Young Turks. I've been at the Young Turks for 18 years. And by the way, this is a comment not only to Laura Loomer, but also to the left who engage in the purity stuff and don't like the fact that in the 18 years I've been here, yeah, I've changed my mind on a few issues. And they also don't like this. Look, I see ordinary Americans as civilians, okay? I see them as people who have the right to practice, their own beliefs, to have their own opinions, and I am done with demonizing people based on how they vote. How they vote or the reasons why they vote the way they do is complicated, right? So for me to demonize them and to be hateful and divisive toward them doesn't really make sense. I have changed the way that I talk about people, ordinary people, and the way that I approach ordinary people that I disagree with because I want to understand them. And I see them as my fellow Americans regardless of what their political ideology is. That's what has changed with me. I want to be clear about that. But more importantly, Laura, I'm not coming for you, and I'm not coming for whatever position you have in the MAGA world. You're okay, you're gonna be fine. No need to worry. I don't know why she randomly came after me today.
Yeah.
So I did respond to her, Cenk. Let me just read that real quick. There's no need to panic, Loomer. I'm not eyeing your role in the MAGA universe. No need to air out unhinged paranoid thoughts because you and I are very different. Aside from moderating on a few policy issues, the fundamental difference between who I was in 2016 and who I am now is that I'm way more skeptical of narratives from mainstream news. More importantly, I approach ordinary people from varying perspectives from a place of compassion and open-mindedness. Because if I'm sowing anger and hatred, who the hell am I to point fingers at others for being toxic or divisive? In other words, I'm trying to cultivate the opposite of what ideologues like Loomer poison this country with, but I will give her credit for the bold decision to go after my looks.
Damn, shots fired. Okay, so let me regulate on the things that
So if you enjoyed what was shared in this video and was talked about in this video, go ahead and smash the like button and share the video far wide across social media. And also, if you enjoy what I shared in this channel and all the content I make on this channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.